we're always in the game. So that's kind of coming from like my background. And
Is there a particular hotbed for soccer that
it's
you look
everywhere.
for? Like I was saying earlier, it's kind of everywhere. I just didn't know if maybe
You
your
can use your
pool of
connections.
you recruit mostly in the Northeast, or I mean, I didn't look at the roster.
Our incoming class next year is mostly Northeast. There's a lot
Okay.
of New England connections within it.
Okay.
I think when people get up to Saratoga and Skidmore, they understand how awesome this place is. So it's really like getting them up to campus. But yeah, we have people. I mean, we have one from Jamaica on our team.
Wow, it's a lot long. I mean, I had to scroll like 10 times. That's a long roster. Okay.
It's a big roster, yeah.
Okay.
But anywhere from Maine down to DC. We have our captain's from Oregon. We had a player from California, 2 players from California. So I think Skidmore's reach is pretty big. I would say my connections, as far as the type of player that would come to Skidmore, is Northeast.
And as a still relatively new head coach, at least here,
Yep.
How do you build trust with players early on as a new coach? Because there's been several times where I've come in and, like, give you an example. I know I keep going back to Hartwick, but in 4 years, I had three coaches in 4 years. How do you kind of build that trust level of, they can kind of come to you, rely on you for everything, but they also are like, hey, like I want to come out, I want to play for this guy. You know what I mean?
Vulnerability. So the assistant coach, Ethan Gunsey, him and I have known each other since 14. We played in high school together at Bethlehem. He went to Lemoyne. I went to Southern New Hampshire. We played in conference against each other. And then we actually transferred into Geneseo together. So this guy is like my best friend since 14. So the coaching staff already just has this awesome trust built in, and we're super vulnerable to the players about the stuff we've been through in life, both on the field and off the field. And when you do that early, and then you have players share with one another, you're like, when we first came in, teammates of 4 years together had no clue that like one another went through a certain hardship. And as soon as you have players sharing with one another, the trust is built there. They see that you're vulnerable, and then the relationships build a lot more. And then you have to put in the work to show that you care about their experience. And I think we do that really well here. We go above and beyond to make sure, whether it's just locker room and music stuff, or whether it's off-field team bonding, or if it's just tactics and scouts and everything. Like I have a good feeling that the players are like, damn, like coach is putting in the work.
Are a lot of your travel games overnights or no?
No,
you don't do a lot. Okay,
but before, I don't think they really did overnights, especially the night before. So going out the day before, say if we're playing on grass, which we don't have here, and getting to practice on their field and getting a feel for that, like
sometimes it's
huge.
Beneficial.
It's everything. Yeah. So
do you prefer the turf or?
I prefer really nice grass. I would say in our conference there's nice grass. I wouldn't say there's like super just
pristine grass.
Yeah.
Now, that kind of shoots me off a little bit of a tangent here. We still got we're good on time, but so that makes me wonder then, these World Cup games that are coming up, these are in football stadiums or big arenas. Do they change out the grass?
From my understanding, they grew all the grass for the World Cup in California. There's
and they just ship it in?
Southern, Central, and Northern California. They shipped it in.
So how do you like ship in and then lay down grass and get it to stay so it's not?
It's above my pay grade.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But there's definitely they have to get it right, because if there is, and I think it's down right now in most stadiums. Like it's been down for a while.
Yeah, because there's no real sports in those stadiums right now.
Correct. So, yeah. So I think it's been down for a while, and they did some like friendly matches there to like kind of get a feel for
it. On it. Yeah.
But yeah,
I know like AT&T Stadium. I'm a big Cowboys fan. Unfortunately, it's been a tough 30 years, but I'm a big Cowboys fan, and I know AT&T Stadium's hosting one, and they've got the artificial turf. Yeah. So I'm like, what do they just roll all that up and then put the grass down, or do they play on the turf?
Yeah.
That's interesting, huh? It's just those are the little things that I notice.
Professionals that come over here and play in the MLS, they won't play on turf fiels.
And they won't.
Like it's in their contract. So like Zidane was over here, or Zlatan. Yeah. But I think Messi has in his contract that he doesn't play in certain turf games because
interesting.
They think it leads to more injuries, or it's beneath them, or whatever it is.
So that's the other way around. Like a lot of the guys with football, Of course, they play in sometimes adverse weather situations, but they feel like the turf, they have better footing than slipping around, sliding around on grass.
Yeah.
So
I think
that's
it's more of like
interesting
the
dynamic.
purity of the sport. Yeah.
And the cleats are different, I assume. You guys have different cleats than other outdoor sports. A little bit longer.
I mean, if it's wet out, you're putting metal studs on. And, getting that going.
So you guys are on Walkenheim. That's where you play. Okay, I know baseball's out off campus, so I didn't know if you guys are off campus too. Yeah. So now you sort of as a player, we've talked a little bit about you now as a coach and your philosophy and what you've built here so far. But you as a player, two-time academic All-American, two-time All-East selection, three-time SUNYAC Conference All-American. Rest in peace to the SUNYAC. I know that they've blown up since, but and then SUNYAC Scholar Athlete of the Year. So academics were always a big thing for you as well. And you studied, I believe I had an eye. You studied education and history, I believe. Yeah. So, but academics are always a big thing for you also.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in wanting to know a little about a lot. Okay. So it's probably why I was like a teacher and in history is I wanted to take courses and take advantage of my education, and I was not a naturally gifted student. I really had to work at it. So like I was definitely pretty disciplined when it came to like I didn't miss a class. I was generally engaged in what I wanted to learn. I wasn't what you were describing earlier, like, oh, I'll go and I really wanted to.
No, in high school I was. In high school, because with CBA you have to. Yeah. Like, certain colleges are like, oh, a 2.5 is the cutoff for I think NCAA or whatever it is. You didn't have a 3.5 at CBA. You couldn't play. Right. Like you couldn't touch the field. So I went from that rigid academic standard to, hey, I'm free. I'm in college. It's great. Yeah. And then it got to, well, maybe I should buckle down a little bit. And then, my sophomore year, I really started to all right, freshman year was fun, but let's get into it. And it's the same thing. I like to know a little bit about everything. And, that's why the grass thing, I just want to know that. Who cares about that? But that interests me, Mm-hmm. And same things with if a basketball team or a baseball team or a football team that I like, I'll be able to tell you where every single player, even if they barely touched the field, went to college. Yeah. And, where they're from. And, somebody will make a catch and they'll be like, oh, that was a fantastic catch. I'm like, yeah, he did that at South Carolina too. And they're like, how'd you know he went there?
You got that too. Yeah.
That kind of, I just, and I become almost obsessive about that stuff.
I would add to it, and I try and preach this to my guys now, just the social part of it too, of office hours with professors or doing co-curricular stuff, all the little things is probably what added up to all these academic awards I received in college, because I wanted to be involved and I made connections to that. And I think when you do that in life, it's networking, right? And then you get the benefit of the doubt most of the time. So I preached that here at Skidmore, and then I did it as a student.
Well, I think also as a player too, having that kind of success, for example, then you look at Southern New Hampshire, 2013, D2 national champ, two-time Northeast 10 conference champ, and then obviously the Elite 89 award recipient.
Got to go to 2 Final Fours for basketball for free.
Yeah, which is awesome.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
So I'm looking at that as you come from a winning program, right? Whereas coming from programs that you were in, or let's say you were playing at Hardwick, I was 500.
Sure.
Okay, I went from a CBA team that lost 5 games total in 3 years,
right,
to a 500 team at Hardwick. And for me, coming out of it, obviously I didn't go in the coaching route, I went in the broadcasting route, but do you think that maybe having that success both on and off the field really kind of helped you to, build your philosophy now as a head coach as well? Because had you not had a lot of success, which happens, you might have been like, you might not have that kind of, all right, I want to strive for the same excellence that I want these guys to have, kind of what I experienced, and what a winning culture feels like.
It's more the culture. So the winning is a byproduct of your culture being great. So
see, I want to win regardless. I love culture, but
I'm not that way. My filter is create a positive student athlete experience, and the byproduct is championships. And I've seen that, but I still do all the little details.
Oh yeah, you got to. Yeah.
But I'm not going to be your Dan Hurley about the coach. It just won't be that for me. So
you don't strike me as that type of dude.
Yeah. With soccer though, it's such an interesting sport, because even if you deserve to win, you don't win. And I think my takeaway is life's not a movie, and then you have good goes and bad goes, and it's as simple as that. You can't let it weigh on you more than that. Because in my high school career, should have achieved a lot more, and we didn't. And then I got very fortunate to be in a culture like Southern New Hampshire. And then at Geneseo, team-wise, we didn't achieve that much. Individually, I did.
Yeah, yeah.
So
as a team,
I've had these really cool experiences of I wouldn't say failure, just not great setups or experiences. And then I've had some unbelievable setups and experience. And I think being I was a redshirt freshman.
Sure.
I couldn't touch the field.
Yep.
So then Geneseo, you're playing in every game. So I'm able to relate to players now who are going through that. And it's really important I went through all of it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I was doing a little bit of the digging research. You've never had a losing season as a coach?
Correct.
Yeah. That's insane too. Especially since, that's one of the things that coaches sometimes have to deal with. So yeah, never had a losing season as a coach. So I think also if that were me, I'd use that as a recruiting point as well. I'd be like, hey, yes, it's culture, it's great, it's Skidmore, but I know what a winning program and a winning culture feels like.
Yep.
I'm not trying to sound, this is me talking to the recruit. I'm not trying to sound, tooting my horn or anything, but I know I've been there. I know what that feels like, and I know what it takes for you to be there as well. Whereas, you can, you have that ability to be able to do that.
I think the interesting part at Skidmore is they don't have any banner or any trophies. So Skidmore soccer is not one.
They haven't been the long history
or NCAA tournament.
Okay.
So they've been in championship games, and they've been a ranking or two off from making the tournament, but haven't yet. So there